Welcome back to Bill's Workbench. We are working on the fantastically way cool K24. So, yeah, let's start with the first thing, which is the transmission. In this video, we're going to get through building the transmission and getting this back piece put on. So that's what I hope to get accomplished in this video. Let's get started. Looks like we need to start with the differential. That looks like the differential bag to me. Get that opened up, see what we've got. Feel like plastic. Oh, I guess they would be because they're these are the metal pieces. Miracle, I found the piece. Alright. I think what I want to do first is get these balls in that little thingamabobber there. What? Pick them up. Let's see. Yes. Are they a snap in? No. Okay. They just go right in. And these are going to want some grease on them. Look at that. They gave us an extra one. Alright, so why did I do those first? Well, I didn't want to lose them. That's why I did them first. I'm going to put some PTFE lube on there. You can look up all the differences on the lubes. Everybody's got their own opinions. You can make up your own mind on which one you want to use. This is the one I'm going to use because it's the one I have. Alright. Want a bearing in the middle. Oh, look, there's an extra ball. There's two extra balls. Nice. And I want to oil the bearing. Looking at the instructions, I've got that. I got that done, that done. Then I'm going to put those two. Then I'll get to these two. Yeah, so I'm doing it. What I'm going to do first is get these parts inside first, and the O-ring as well as the screw. That way I can put it all together as one unit in that other side and get it together. What the heck, not in there too. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay. And then this, get an O-ring. And we've got to find the thrust washer, which is thrust bearing kit, which is right there. These washers are machined on this side. See how they're concave? That means the thrust washer goes inside of those little races right there. We're going to put some lube on there like they say. But this little part. I don't want the lube on the screw. I get some lube on the screw, but I'm going to try to limit that as much as I can. Okay. the screw with the O-ring. And let's make sure the 1.5 mil is the correct size before I go too far. It is. It's good. This goes into here. Like so. And then this piece goes on top. That piece will go here like so. And this will go in here like that. Whoops, not yet. That piece will go in there like that. And then we'll try to screw it up. But before I get too excited about screwing it up, I need to see if this part, yes, it does fit over the top. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something there. Yeah, it might go in there. Yeah, it goes in there, alright. Okay. And this piece goes on here like so. The trick to this one is I used the screw to put in the little lock nut in there. So how I did that backwards. Used a ruler to get some grip on that. And then you need to press it together real good and then screw it together. So that's the trick on that. Alright, so there's the diff all assembled. Let's take a look at this. Outer casing, they said to trim this, but it's actually in pretty good shape. I don't think I'm going to need to trim it. What I'm going to do is dry fit it as much as I can, because I am noticing there is some gaps there. Maybe that's the trimming they're talking about. So I'm going to be using my handy dandy sandpaper and just lightly, very lightly, sanding that until it's flat. This is a must. You're going to get into this hobby. I use this more than I anticipated. How are we getting along now? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much more better. Okay, so now we need to put together the top piece that goes into the spur gear. So we need to put the top part together that goes into the spur gear. So we've got a couple bearings. We've got a idler gear to deal with, the shaft. You know, all these little things that we need to deal with. So that looks pretty straightforward. That looks to be in this bag here. Let's get these bags cleaned up. We'll throw this thing together. This is the top shaft, or this is the gearbox top shaft. It's got 2 holes in it. Here's one of the bearings. And then it's going to go through this case here. No, this one. Then we'll have another bearing. We'll have the spacer, the idler gear, oh, we've got a little pin in there as well. It goes through one of the holes. It goes through the hole closest to the threads. Got another bearing, and then we've got a canut. Wait, no, we don't. We have this thing to go next. That coupler, and that blue sides. So the blue sides are out. Okay, let's get it together. So put the bearing in here, and I want it like that. I want a little, well, actually, I'm going to oil it on this side. Just a little bit. And then we have another bearing on the inside of that, so put a little oil on that. Fantastic. Flip that around. Around. Grab it like that. Not a very tight fit, so I'm not worried about ruining the bearing by pushing it with the pliers. This goes in. And there. I can barely see where the pin goes, but the spacer goes in first. I am going to put a little bit of grease on this pin. See how it sticks to that now? That's why I'm going to put a little grease on it. Now we're going to put it in there. That way it won't come out. There we go. Then the gear is the idler gear. Goes in there, rotates until it hits the pin. And then this guy goes right here. That doesn't seem right. But it might be. And then the bearing. That. That nut goes on the outside. Yes, yes it does. But we have more stuff to put on the inside before we put that nut on there, don't we? So what we're going to do is we're going to temporarily put it on there. There we go. Now all that stuff won't come apart. That's that page. Yep. And, oh, they say to put the differential inside and then screw it all up. Okay, so that's, differential is going to want some bearings. So we'll follow the same kind of rule. And is there a rhyme or reason of which side goes to where? I don't think there is, but I'm going to assemble it so that it's going in the same direction. So that the piece, remember this is the piece we put on, we popped on. I make that so it's the same side as the idler gear. Or the, whatever, that's this side. I'm not going to worry about lubricating this yet, these gears, because I was just going to make a mess later, and yeah, I'll do it after I get it going. So that goes on like this. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Yeah, see? This looks good. Alright, then we'll put this into here like so. Okay, I got it snug. It's not tight, but because I want this to be smooth. Okay. Now, we have this piece and a long screw here. So this goes like this on the screw side. They don't say to put the second one in yet, so we're not going to. So now we're going to find this piece here and get it ready to go. That piece is in here with all these other pieces, I believe. Oh. Now we got to find this piece. There it is, right here. And that is probably the screw screwed in there with. $243. That's blue Loctite. I don't use the real Loctite for the blue stuff. I use this stuff because the outside is blue instead of red. I don't know why the real Loctite, the outside is red. Because I get it confused. Okay. So it wants to go through this bottom one here. Okay. Is that the right side? No. It's like this. Yep. And I would hazard a guess that that is also a 4 mil. Or 4.5. Let's see. Yep, 4.5 millimeter. Fabulous. And then they say put this on here like this. Put it on the other side like this. And there. 2x4. And that goes where? On the top? This is the brace that holds on the motor guard. Okay, snug. And then 2x4s. How long are these? But I would recommend that you go get an M2 screw kit. Either cap head or button head. Okay. Then they say that these are going to go up. Oh yeah, look at that. There are little spots. You can just barely make it out right there, see? But these guys go into. Okay, I hope those don't run into the motor because they are sticking out quite far. But if they are, we'll grind them down and put them back in. Good. So there you go. There's the transmission for the K24. Kyosho, as I believe, is what the K is standing for. All right, future build here. I have this thing all together. What I found was important while you're building this thing is there are two different size bearings, and they're in this page here. You have a 2.5 millimeter bearing, which is here and here, and you have a 2 millimeter wide bearing, which goes everywhere else in the build. Make sure you get them in the right spot. I put this one in the wrong spot during assembly and had to disassemble it and reassemble it because I was trying to put it here in the spur gear, and the spur gear was binding. It needs to have 2 millimeter bearings in it. I don't know if I opened the bags up in the wrong order. I don't remember. Or if this was in the wrong bag. But just be aware of that when you're building this thing.